Okay, this is Joe Leigh here for SecondsOut. Kalle Sauerland, thank you for joining me. You've done probably the most interviews I've ever seen anyone do at any media day ever.
I'm worried. I'm still prime, keeping me hydrated and energised.
I like that. Let's start there. Let's start at the press conference for today. We obviously saw no Dylan Dennis. You've seen this a lot in boxing, but how soon was it? A day before the presser that you heard this? Were you surprised?
Well, it wasn't a day. It was actually when I woke up this morning that I heard he made the plane. So, no, I've just seen him also put something out on social just now. I'm not dancing the fuck KSI and his show and his press conference. He'll dance on his head on 14th. I've got to remind him it's boxing and not, I don't know, dancing on head shows. But, you know, listen, have I seen it before? Will I see it again? Of course, we know what to expect when it comes to press conferences and boxing, whether it's crossover boxing and especially or normal boxing, and especially with all that went on over in Texas a few weeks ago with the legendary coffee scene and car park fights, and then that face off with armed police in the ring the next day. All good. We move on. Fight weeks, 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away. So I'm sure that face-off will be a tasty one.
Yeah, I've got to ask because people will be wondering, do you think there's a chance he does, like True Geordie's comment is saying he doesn't think he's going to fight, and with the Alex Wasabi stuff, is there any worry there?
Not that he pulls out like he don't want to fight. No. This guy mustn't forget he comes from a fighting background. Yeah. He's been Bellator. You know, he's an undefeated MMA fighter. So it's not like it's his first fight. He's not going to be, worried about turning up to fight. But can he get injured? Can he get sick? Can he be whatever? Of course, like any in any boxing event, But we insure against that in terms of having a replacement ready to go.
Would that be Joe Fournier? Obviously, that's been rumoured that he would fight him.
He's on the list.
Okay, interesting. That's a tougher fight. Would you see that as being almost more dangerous because of his experience in boxing? And it would be on short notice if that was to be the case?
I mean, look, Joe's obviously, was he 9-0? I think 9-0. Joe's from a much more classical boxing pedigree, but at the same time, it's very difficult to prepare for a guy like Dylan Dennis because he's a fighting guy. He can fight. But the question is, what will he do to box under boxing rules? And we can talk about dancing on heads and things like that. We clearly know that's not allowed. So, how is he going to approach it? That's why I asked JJ at the press conference today. I said, well, how do you prepare for someone who's fought before but ain't boxed before? Yeah. And there. You're not going to read too much out of it. He's not only is he an MMA guy, he's not really a striker. He's a grappler. He comes out of a jiu-jitsu background. So it's one of those ones. What do you actually prepare for? Is this guy even southpaw or orthodox? Those are the sort of questions that in the normal boxing world it would be totally ludicrous to even be talking about. That's what makes it exciting, I guess.
Just very, very briefly, I do mean this, on the kind of the Wayne Rooney things, I think talking about it a lot on social media, and also the idea of other people, not just YouTubers, not just influencers, actors, politicians, whatever, that's been brought up today. Yeah,
but that's something new. I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I think Wayne would be a cracking addition to Misfits, but no, joking aside, I think the space is open for someone with a public profile and who's prepared to dedicate themselves to the sport of boxing, for at least the fight, so that's it. And like I said, it's not one of those sports you toy around with, and we're very conscious of that, so we look at that part as well quite a lot, how much they're prepared to put into it.
And last one, I have to ask you about the Conor Benns stuff. It was made aware that you weren't aware of the first test. We've seen the statement come out. From an objective point of view, there's nothing really new said there. What do you make of the statement?
Of Conor's statement put on social media this week. Read like a Christmas card to his fans, sort of thing. That's all I can really say. The only word that was in there that was contamination, which I can read into that's the line that they're pursuing. It's a line that other fighters have pursued in the past, some successfully, some unsuccessfully. I don't read anything into it. I read it like it says in the thing, which is everyone a Merry Christmas, doesn't it?
Chris commented on it with like the snoring emojis, like it's a bunch of rubbish.
Yes, I saw it, and I get it. He's been very impacted by the whole thing, and whether that's a direct thing at Conor, whether that's a direct thing at the whole thing's getting boring and like the process is boring, and I find the questions boring because, and I guess you guys are bored of asking them, and we're all bored because this has been the most drawn out process since the Treaty of Versailles. It's like, what are we waiting for?
Is there still frustration on your part?
I don't know anything that's happening. So yes, there is. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Frustration. There is absolutely frustration because I don't know a bloody thing that's going on. So that part is frustrating. More for the point. I mean, we've moved on obviously with the Eubank Smith fight, but more almost closure of October still to like, what happened? What happened, dude? Like, what happened? Right? So that part, there's a lot of, we need to look as a sport at ourselves and the transparency of it, and most importantly, the speed of it. Transparency is one thing, but speed. Why wasn't there a hearing before, 2 and something weeks before the fight with a test? And we just walked into a fight week. No one had said anything. So, the board didn't say it wasn't going ahead. Those things, why weren't we called? The test results came on a Friday. I remember exactly, a Friday night. Why were we not at 9 a.m. in a room with the governing body, the British Board of Box Control, going through what was happening? Could we have saved the night for everyone on that undercard and Junior got a different opponent in if at that stage we did it, So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Well, massive January on a positive note for the team with Chris fighting Liam Smith, and the Misfits stuff's kicking off. Josh, Harlem, a big year ahead as well. So thanks for doing this, and we'll speak next year.
All the best.